Good evening, and welcome to the Mosquito Fire Community Information Meeting for Thursday, September 22nd. My name is Nathan Judy, Information Officer for California Interagency Incident Management Team 5. I will be your facilitator for this evening, along with our ASL interpreter, Vicky. This evening you will hear from our members of our Unified Incident Command Team and our cooperators. After the briefing, we will address questions submitted online in the chat. If we don't get to those questions, we'll answer those after. The current fire acreage is 76,575 acres and now 60% contained. We have 1,805 personnel on the fire. First up this evening, we're going to bring back our Operations Section Chief, Dave Saldivini.
Good evening. So current situation out there is looking pretty good. I'd like to start here on the Middle Fork, talking about what's going on. And up from the Middle Fork to the north into Forest Hill, going out those fire lines that we were able to get in south of the road there and underneath the communities, everything's still looking really good. We still have firefighters in there, making sure that we have good work going on and putting out the smokes as they pop up in that area while things dry out. And that's a similar situation all the way out through Chicken Hawk, up out the Forest Hill Road, all the way to Deadwood. And coming down the Deadwood Road, we continue to mop up that area. We're showing containment now coming down off that north side. With the rain, we were able to start getting in today as the roads dried out and pick up on some of that direct firefighting we were doing. When this pooched out just before the rain, we were able to get some dozers to box it in, but now we've been able to get in there with hand crews, and we had 4 hotshot crews today working to the south down into that middle or north fork of the Middle Fork of the American River there, and trying to find out just how far they can get down in there before it just becomes too dangerous. So good work done in there today. And then just south of there, we had crews working to the north, doing that same kind of thing, poking into Grouse Creek around headed towards Grouse Falls, trying to figure out just how far they can safely get in there and get that direct hand line in. Concurrent with that, because we had some containment in the middle here, we had people mopping that up, but we had a hotshot crew work its way down into the Middle Fork, and then they were able to cross the river and start coming up the other side and try and tie in with a number of crews that were working to button that up right down in here around the Inner Bay area on the Middle Fork. And then now we're looking at having a continuous fire line, a combination of dozers, roads, and hand line from up here around French Meadows Road all the way down to the edge of the Rubicon Canyon here, just working real hard to get that line in nice and tight and start mopping it up so we can start showing more of this black containment here. And then that Rubicon River just continues to be one of those things where as we work our way into it, taking a look and making sure that we're keeping our firefighters safe, but getting that direct fire line in and making sure that work is done to keep that fire from moving in the Rubicon Canyon. And then once you turn the corner at Stumpy Meadows, start running out towards Quintet and up towards Volcanoville and out Buckeye Peak down to the Middle Fork of the American. We've still got folks in here making sure this continues to stay put, that those smokes get mopped up, and you guys are good and safe in your communities down there in Dorado County. Thank you, and end of report.
Thank you, Dave. Really appreciate that update. Next up, we're going to bring our incident meteorologist, Eric Kurth. Eric?
Good evening, Incident Meteorologist Eric Kurth with an update on the weather. Well, we had 4 days of wet, cool weather. We had 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain across the fire. Well, today was the change. We had high pressure ridging built in, and that storm exited the area. So we had sunny weather. Temperatures warmed up into the upper 60s and lower 70s. And we had humidity dropping into the 40s. So a bit of a change from this wet pattern we've been in. And we're going to see more of the same. That ridge is going to build up over the area. We're going to see some warming through the weekend, peaking on Sunday. Temperatures tomorrow we're expecting to be generally in the upper 70s to around 80. And then on Saturday we're expecting low to mid 80s. And that continues into Sunday, maybe just a little bit warmer. Humidity levels tomorrow will be in the 30s. And then on Saturday and Sunday, we're expecting them to drop into the mid-20s to around low 30s. So we're seeing that gradual trend of drying. And then as we get into early next week, we're seeing temperatures actually drop slightly, but generally it's going to be staying in that warm, seasonably warm, I would call it, temperatures into the week. I don't see any precipitation on the horizon. And in terms of winds, we're going to have a typical diurnal pattern that we call it, where we get some light easterlies at night, and then in the afternoon we get southwest winds gusting up 10 to 12 miles over in the ridges. So no really extraordinary weather on the way. Certainly pretty quiet compared to what we just came out of. Thank you, and that's your weather update.
Perfect. All right, thank you, Eric. Appreciate that weather update. So next up, we're going to bring from Placer County, Assistant Director of Emergency Services, Dave Atkinson.
Good evening. Appreciate the opportunity to share some really positive information since we talked last. So I'm going to go over to the monitor over here and ask that we bring up the Mosquito Fire Recovery webpage. And if you can scroll up just a little bit, we want to bring everyone's attention to this webpage because as things continue to progress towards recovery, there's going to be a lot of information coming out. And so we really want to encourage you to continually check this website. And one of the first things we want you to do on this website, and if you scroll up just a little bit more. Too far. Down. So right there on the left-hand side, it says sign up for recovery information. This gives you an opportunity to sign up for our distribution list for emails. As I mentioned, a lot of information is going to be coming out in the next few days and weeks, and we want to make sure that you're getting it as fast as we are. If you scroll up just a little bit more, one of the first things we are doing, and this started today, is we are hosting a local assistance center. And a local assistance center is an opportunity to bring different government agencies from state and county right to the community that's been affected. DMV, the assessor, the building department, all of the different departments that we think you might need as you start working towards recovery. So if you click on that link right there, you will see a full list of all of the different state and county agencies. We had a great first day today. We will be open again tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Old Forest Hill Elementary School, 24750 Main Street, Forest Hill. And again, that information is on the website. The next thing that we'll be hosting is a disaster resource village. And this is an opportunity for all of our cooperators and community-based organizations to come together and have an opportunity to talk with you, our fire survivors, about what your relief needs are. Red Cross and many other community organizations are going to be there. And this will be next Monday, September 26th, from noon until 7 p.m. at the same location that we hosted the local assistance center, at the Old Forest Hill Elementary. And that address, again, is 24750 Main Street. And I believe that the Red Cross will be serving a community meal about 5 p.m. So we encourage everyone to please come out, talk to those organizations, find out about the things that might be available for you. A few other items that we want to pass along: spoiled food. The power was out for a significant period of time for folks, and for those returning home, you may find that you have some spoiled food that you need to get rid of. The Forest Hill Transfer Station is back in operation, and thanks to our fire cooperators for making that happen so quickly. That is the Forest Hill Transfer Station, 6699 Patton Road, Forest Hill. They will be open 8 to 5, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We do want to remind folks that fire debris, including ash, is something that cannot be accepted. And actually, we have a public health order in place right now. So please leave that in place. I do want to extend a thank you to the Forest Hill Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for hosting the bins for the first few days of repopulation before the transfer station was available. With the lifting of all the evacuation orders, the Red Cross shelter at Sierra College is now closed. We wanted to thank the Red Cross, Sierra College, Bell Road Baptist Church, and the Auburn Recreation District for supporting all of the efforts in providing shelter to evacuees over this time. If you find that you still need some resources, we ask you to dial Placer 211 and use the phone number 1-833-DIAL-211. For your fur baby evacuees, the animal shelter at the Gold Country Fairgrounds will be closing tomorrow at 5 p.m. Placer Animal Services can assist anyone that is in need of additional resources with your animals due to fire impacts. We also have 5 strays currently at the shelter that we are looking for their owners. Please contact Animal Services at 530-886-5541. And a special thanks to the Nevada County Fairgrounds, Placer SPCA, Nevada County Animal Disaster Response Team, Northern California Association of Equine Practitioners, and many other folks, and the full list will be on our website, but we couldn't have done this without their support. So in closing, just a reminder, we have a lot of information coming out in the next few days. Please refer to our website. Please sign up for the distribution list. And if you find yourself in need of talking to a person about some questions or needing of resources, please dial Placer 211.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that important information to get out to that community members that were affected and the communities that were affected. Very important information. Please visit their website if you need anything. Next up from El Dorado County Sheriff's Office, we're going to bring back up Sergeant Anthony Principe.
Thank you. Anthony Principe, the Public Information Officer for the El Dorado County Sheriff's Office. Just a few things. Yesterday, we changed the evacuation order to evacuation warning for Stumpy Meadows. It is going to remain an evacuation warning zone until through the weekend when we'll reassess it. All other zones have been lifted. All other warning zones have been lifted in El Dorado County. With that, the evacuation centers have also closed. If you need further information regarding any resources or anything like that, you can visit the county website or call 211. This will be the final meeting that we are planning to attend. Any further questions should come through our social media. With that, I would like to thank the outgoing Team 5, cooperators, and mutual aid that came to assist us during this event. We absolutely appreciate the hard work that you all put in. And I also want to thank our community who showed a high level of preparedness for the evacuation process and an even higher level of patience dealing with it as well. So I thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant. Appreciate that. Closing us out this evening, we're going to bring up our Unified Incident Commanders.
All right, well, good evening, everybody. It's been a couple nights now since we've done a community meeting, and in the course of those couple days in there, we've seen some significant improvements on the fire, and we've seen some of the risk and threat reduced around the communities due to a lot of hard work and some help from Mother Nature. So as we've gone through the last 16 days, we've had quite a firefight in the communities in El Dorado and Placer counties around Forest Hill, Quintet, Volcanoville, and Georgetown. And as these threats have been reduced and really no longer cease to exist there for the state lands and the communities, CAL FIRE will be exiting Unified Command tomorrow. However, we will remain engaged with resources and personnel to assist the remaining incident management team and the United States Forest Service, as well address any of your needs in the community. So on behalf of CAL FIRE, I'd just like to thank you for your support throughout this incident. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Rick Young, Incident Commander with California Team 5. When we took this fire over several weeks ago, it was moving across the landscape and thousands of people were affected. Through a lot of hard work from thousands of firefighters and a little bit of luck with the weather, we've been able to minimize that fire spread. But make no mistake, with 120 miles of fire perimeter, all of which needs to be lined, mopped up, and patrolled, there's still a tremendous amount of work to be done. So we've worked the last day and a half transitioning with California Team 2, and I would like to introduce Nikki Johnny and her staff. Thank you.
Thank you. So I have a deputy and a trainee, Curtis Coots, who's over here on my left, and John Goss is the trainee. And you'll see all of our faces throughout the next 2 weeks through on the community meetings, co-op meetings, and out and about. So I just wanted to let you guys know that we're all three here to help and serve. This is my first time to, the fairgrounds in Auburn. Gold Country, I try to remember. This is my first time here, and I just wanted to thank the fairgrounds for hosting us. Thank you. I am a local to the El Dorado. I've worked on the El Dorado most of my career, but I haven't spent too much time on the Tahoe side, so I'm looking forward to that. So thank you very much.
Thank you, folks. Really appreciate you being here. Welcome, Nikki. So that's the formal presentation this evening. Next, we'll go into questions. Really didn't have a lot of questions submitted this evening. A lot of questions that are coming into the Tahoe National Forest are asking about the forest closure. The forest is reevaluating the closure they have in place currently daily. It's in proximity to the mosquito fire itself, and that's been put in place for public and firefighter safety. They will continue to reassess that closure as the days go on. When they feel it's safe to lift that closure, they will do so. So please give us some patience. We want to, again, make sure our firefighters are safe and the public is safe in that burn area. So thank you for joining us this evening. We will not be having any other meetings tomorrow night. The new team that's coming in will reassess the need for it. If we have an emergency situation or anything that does come up, they will restart these public meetings, be assured. Make sure if you have any questions to submit those questions to the email 2022.mosquito@firenet.gov. Thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you for attention. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night.